I'm Buzz Welch, the executive director of, I just promoted myself. I'm just the director of Eccles Global. And joining me today is Cesar Sanchez, who's the associate director. And we have some great folks with us today. We have our Sophia Blankevort, who's our Eccles ambassador, who's helping us with all things Eccles Global. And we also have Professor Alder and his team here to talk about a fantastic experience coming up this summer in Ghana. And I think without further ado, I'm going to turn the time over to you, Steve, and you guys can put up anything you would like as far as PowerPoints and whatnot. At the end of your time, and you can take as long as you would like, we're going to take questions from folks about the summer programs, either the IS minor, entrepreneur minor, or any of the summer sessions. So if you guys want to hang around for that, that's great. That are attending. So I think we'll go from there. So I'll just mute and turn it over to you, Steve.
Great, thanks, Buzz. And it's so great to be here. One of the nicest things is this is a mini reunion with some of the folks who were recently with us in Ghana. So it's wonderful to see Kelsey, Will, and Hetsu on the call with us. And you all look well. So hopefully the new year is agreeing with you. But thank you all for joining us. We'll get some student insights from them here shortly and have them introduce a little more about themselves when we get to that point. Also appreciate Elizabeth Rabin, who is going to run the slides for us. And we're going to just share with you information about our opportunity in Ghana with Eccles Global. So great. So let's go to the next slide. This is my official looking in the leather chair photo, and just information about who I am. So I am a professor in the School of Medicine, but also work in the David Eccles School of Business. As part of my role at the David Eccles School of Business, I'm the executive director for the Center for Business Health and Prosperity. And it's a new center that we launched actually now just a little over a year ago. And we're doing all sorts of fun and exciting things that I won't take a lot of time here to talk about, but a real privilege to get to work with the David Eccles School of Business and with Eccles Global, which is just a remarkable opportunity. In addition to that, I am the president of what was Ensign College of Public Health and is now Ensign Global College. I do that through my role at the University of Utah. Because Ensign Global College is a new institution in Ghana, as part of their accreditation, leadership and faculty have to be from other institutions. And so I am on loan from the University of Utah to serve in that role. And I lead that institution. So I am back and forth between the US and Ghana on a much too regular basis. This has a little bit of relevance to what we'll talk about in a moment, but I'm also completed my Master of Business MBA, oh my gosh, it's Friday after even a short week. My Master of Business Administration at the University of Oxford through the Said School of Business there. And we're gonna take advantage of some of those ties I continue to have as an Oxonian for what we have to offer with this experience. And then finally, this makes me sound old, and I guess I am kind of getting old, but decades of experience leading not only student programs, but working across the continent of Africa, but primarily in the country of Ghana, and have a lot to say about that, and I'll at least say some of that later on in the presentation. Let's go to the next slide, Elizabeth. So these are the options we have, 2 options to study in Ghana this summer. The first is during Eccles Global Session 1, and it's going to be just a spectacular experience. And I'm gonna not have you rely solely on my word, but we'll hear from others. And then there's the Ensign Global Leadership Internship, which also takes place during the summer. We'll have a little more information on that experience as well. Next slide. And of course, these are students who have been with us. I note these are all students who have been to Ghana during the pandemic, and we know how to get people there and back, and to take precautions so that we keep people healthy and safe. To re-emphasize scholarships, there are scholarships available for the programming that we're describing. And just if you're interested and want to know about those scholarships, which I would highly, highly recommend, especially if you are a student in the David Eccles School of Business, then there are some really nice opportunities to make this an experience that really is not much different than if you stayed in the US, if you stayed in Utah and did the same amount of coursework here. I'm actually in Utah right now before I head to Ghana next week. Next slide. Okay, before we get into course details, I'd like our student panelists to introduce themselves. So Kelsey, can we start with you?
Yeah. My name's Kelsey Rudd. I'm a second year at the University of Utah. I'm currently planning on studying entrepreneurship and got to go to Ghana this fall for an entrepreneurship elective. And I love to travel. I'd never been to Africa before, so I totally jumped on the opportunity, and I'm really thankful I did, just because I got to see a lot of Ghana in 8 days and do things you wouldn't normally get to do. So yeah, I really enjoyed this course. I enjoy traveling and outdoors activities. That's a little bit about me.
Great, thanks, Kelsey. We're gonna just have you. We're gonna be full disclosure here. What was the worst part of the trip?
The worst part. It was probably, honestly, there wasn't really much that I had to complain about. We got a little bit delayed getting back, so that was kind of a bummer. But that's just travel. So I don't know. I guess that would be we just kind of, the flight we were supposed to catch from Tamale, I think, to Accra was delayed by like an hour or two. So we were like rushing at the airport, but everything else went really smooth.
Okay, what was the best part? We're ending on the best part. What did you like best about the trip?
Oh, so many things. Like I said earlier, probably just getting to see so much and do so many different things. As well as like learning a bunch. We did some business consulting. I would say I learned a lot, and I really enjoyed that.
Great. Thank you for that feedback. Satu, how about if we have you introduce yourself, and then also tell us the biggest bummer of the trip and also the best part of it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hazel. I go by Satu. I am originally from Thailand in a refugee camp, and that was what drew me to this course. Initially, I wanted to learn about poverty alleviation and using in philosophy entrepreneurship, and I really love the course and the trip. It was a life transformative experience. I'm going to start with the worst part. The worst part for me was also travel related. Being in the shuttle bus for a long period of time certainly.
Oh, Satu, you're freezing a little bit, and the bummer is you freeze just when you were saying what the downside was. But we'll see if you come back and can give us the upside. Will, why don't we jump to you while Satu's frozen, and just again intro and the worst part and the best part.
Okay, hi everybody. My name's Will. I am an entrepreneurship major here at the U. Finishing my last semester this spring. I joined this trip, man, kind of for a multitude of reasons. I'm one impulsive, so as soon as I got the email, I got really excited. But getting to dive in and learn about, a country that I never even would have considered going to was really exciting for me. And I love the fact that I got to meet so many people. So there's still people in the trip that I went with that I'm still in contact with. And I actually have a few classes with SAW this semester. For the worst part of the trip, I'd have to say leaving. I did not want to leave Ghana when we left.
That's a pretty good worst part. That's terrific.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I guess the flight was long. Best part, maybe it would probably have to be the elephant lodge. Sitting in a bed and then watching elephants in a watering hole, maybe a football field away. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you, Will. Sati, we have you back, and let's hear your best part.
My best part was definitely the people, the students on the trip and also the faculty at Ensign College. I think just the cultural exchange helped you see a very, very different perspective of what life is and what the world looks like. And it definitely helps you grow professionally, academically, and also as a human. That was probably the best part for me.
Okay, I've got a question from the question and answer, and I also need your input on that. How was the food?
The food was insane.
Like, qualify that insane. Insanely bad or insanely good?
Insanely good. Yeah, spicy, flavorful. I felt like we got to try a lot of food staying at Ensign too. That was really cool. The cafeteria they have set up there is pretty incredible.
Yeah, did you all feel like at the end of the trip you were anxious to get back to the US because of the food? Yeah.
No, not at all.
We have a terrific chef on campus and also really great places we go where the food is terrific. So you get to try both authentic Ghanaian food if you choose to, and then you have a little more internationally oriented food. And so we're fortunate. The food is terrific, and that is one of the surprising highlights people often note is how good the food was while they were there. Let me jump to some of the details. We'll step away from the human interest side here for a moment. The coursework. So Business 3800, Honors 4474, and it's Business and Social Science, Contextual Dynamics and Emerging Market Development. Open to all majors. The priority is given to students that are in the David Eccles School of Business. Session 1 goes from May 16th to June 9th. It includes 5 days in England, where we will spend time both at the University of Oxford and in London. And with our short trip, with our fall and spring break trips, we don't have time to do that. But there are some really interesting things that we can learn by spending a little time in the United Kingdom as part of that trip. And so that's going to be, I think, a nice part of this more extended summer experience. The fees include tuition, housing, transportation, most meals, and excursions. So we are practically all inclusive. I think we ask you, in addition to what you pay for the course fee, there's a handful of meals that just because we're out on the road, and it just is a lot easier if you pay for it yourself. So a handful of meals and souvenirs, and that's kind of what you would be expected to contribute beyond the cost of the course. Let's jump to the next slide. And I'll try to watch question and answers if any questions come up along the way. The internship is a little longer, May 15th to June 30th. Also includes the time in England with the University of Oxford and some time in London. Again, all majors, but priority given to the David Eccles School of Business, and similarly an inclusive price for that experience as well, with, once again, a few meals and sort of souvenirs and those sorts of things as the added costs. Next slide. And you're seeing as we go through just participants who have, and some of the things that they've done while we're while we're in Ghana. This is the place where we will base when we're in Ghana. This is Ensign Global College. You can see to the right, you can see the map of Ghana, and you see the pin where the college is located. It's about, depends on the traffic. It's anywhere from an hour to way more than an hour getting from Accra to Pong. And we try to be strategic in when we make that trip so we can try and limit the time. But traffic in the emerging world, as many of you will likely know, it can be an unavoidable challenge. The campus sits on the Volta River, so you see a wide part of the Volta River in the background of the photo. We sit on 50 acres and have housing. The housing where you will stay is in the, yep, thank you, Elizabeth, that kind of upper left-hand corner. And we have everything from our chef and his culinary team and food services on campus. We have good electricity and a backup system so that it's a very comfortable place to be. Our hospitality and housekeeping group is wonderful. We have internet. When the internet goes down, we have a backup internet system. And often I found, especially during the pandemic, my internet in the US was often worse than what I get in Ghana. And then we also have on-site a medical clinic. And just in case we ever have issues, we have a physician and nurse on duty there all the time. Security and a great group that hosts us, good and safe transportation, all those good things, great partnerships throughout the country, and we'll make use of those to make this an optimal experience. And I think for the students that are here as part of the panel, each of them were able to. Can you just quickly tell the other listeners here what group you worked with in the community? I can't remember if you guys were on similar teams or not, or if you're all from different teams.
I worked with the security team.
Okay, great. So security services and did some consulting there. Satu, what did you guys do with them? Remind the group.
We did consulting for the security team, trying to figure out how to optimize security and make them more effective, make them better than they were.
Great. And Will, how about your group and project?
Kelsey and I were in the hospitality team.
Okay.
I would say the big thing about our project was just the mindset shift, getting them to switch how they're trying to utilize the dormitory, I guess.
Great. So yeah, so we had, in addition, we had a group working on sanitation programs and municipal sanitation, and a serial entrepreneur who the group helped her figure out how to take what she saw as a fragmented set of activities and bring them into a more integrated whole, so that she was running really one company instead of multiple companies. There was a question on flights and logistics. So is the flight into Ghana and home out of London? And I think that's probably the case. Elizabeth, is that true?
I think right now we're looking at booking for the course. I think they're going to go to London first and then down to Ghana, and then Ghana home. And then I think the internship will be joining another group that we'll have there through the Honors College, and they'll be going to Ghana first and then up to London.
Yeah. So we can certainly get that information to you so you know details on that. Happy to do that. Thank you. That's a great question. Okay, next slide. So this is what Will's talking about. If you'll notice behind the elephant, because the first thing you see is the elephant, that's the roof of one of the places where we hang out. The elephants, that when we go up to Zaina Lodge up in northern Ghana, the elephants like to get pretty close to us, and there's nothing like seeing a wild African elephant really close. And I will say that there were times this summer when the elephants were I've been up to the elephants many times, And they were close enough that I was getting a little nervous how close we were, but our guides, our safari guides said it was fine, and it turned out it was fine. And we got some really nice close time with them, as well as some other wildlife. But in the itinerary, we work hard to include lots of excursions and experiences, so you really get a detailed look at the country of Ghana. And this ranges from going to the north to see things like the Larabanga Mosque and the Elephant Preserve, to going to the Cape Coast and Elmina to see some of the museums that talk about human trafficking in the past, and a canopy walk up in the top of one of the pseudo rainforests there, and all sorts of other things. So we try to make the experience rich and meaningful, and the excursions are as many as you would like. And in fact, at times when we've planned, because we're so excited to show everybody as much of Ghana as we can, we have actually had students who have requested that we maybe take a night or two off to recoup. So for the 1 week students, they're great, because I think they charged hard the entire time they were there. For the longer term students, we do try to take a few breaks along the way. Okay, next slide. When we go to the University of Oxford and London, this is actually a picture of my college, Green Templeton College, and we'll visit the different colleges. We'll connect with the schools. Our plan is to connect with the Scholl Center and the Said Business School. There are wonderful historic buildings, and we'll spend time learning about the history in Oxford and some of the interesting developments that took place there. We'll also spend time at places like the British Museum and the John Snow Pub and the replica of the pump, and some important places that also deal with the financial center that London is and how London is the last or England is the last colonizer of Ghana, how that relationship has impacted what happens in Ghana, as well as how that's continued over time. Okay, next slide. So here are just some more fun pictures to entice you, and I think the pictures are accurate and perhaps undersell it a little bit. Is that fair to the participants who've been there?
Definitely undersells it.
Yeah, it's one of those places where you can't pictures just can't do it justice. You can't take the right sort of a picture to really help others get the impact of that experience. But you just see working in communities where you get an intimate chance to connect with people. And there's the canopy walk. You can see the Elmina Castle as part of that tour, which is, I think, one of those tours that just will impact you for the rest of your life. The fishing boats in the marina there, and then the southern beaches of Ghana, which look out onto the Atlantic Ocean, but look to the south. Okay, and then the wildlife is plentiful, and you see us in the swimming pool at the Zana Lodge there, and one of the fun things to do there is sit in the swimming pool, and if you look at the watering hole just behind us, you see a little set of black dots. You can see them much better when you're actually there. Those are the elephants doing the same thing. And what you learn when you're on these elephant safaris is elephants like watching people as much as people like watching elephants. So the people sit in their water watching the elephants in their water, and vice versa. Okay, next slide. Oh, let's see some things in the chat. Do we have a QR code today? Ooh, I don't know. Elizabeth, do we have a QR code?
We have a QR code at the end.
Oh, okay.
I think it takes you to our Instagram page, and we have all of our links there.
Yeah, we'll put that up, and we'll put that up as soon as you guys are done here, actually. This is for the business scholars that are in attendance for their passport points. So I apologize for taking you off topic.
Oh, not a problem. Now that Elizabeth reminds me, I remember that. So in the questions, what is the housing situation like in Ghana and London? So we are very aware of issues related to COVID. And so my background is in public health. I've got 30 years of experience there. And also was head of the HERO project, which was dealing with how we navigated as a state through the pandemic. So this is an area of expertise. Plus, our college there is a college was originally a college of public health before it broadened and became Ensign Global College. But we will as things get closer, we will have a plan for how we're going to mitigate any risks associated with COVID. The housing, when we are at the campus, the student housing is quite nice, quite clean and comfortable. Our goal is that throughout the trip, other than traffic, which we can't do much about, we try to make it as comfortable as possible. So that you're focused on what you're there to learn, not that you had a bad night's sleep or you have diarrhea from the food, frankly, if I can be candid. So we stay in comfortable places. When we go to the coast, we have places that we stay that we've worked with for years that are both secure and comfortable as well. We are looking, the situation is fluid in the UK right now. And so our plan right now is to base out of the University of Oxford, just because it's a student centered place, and so makes it so it's a lot easier to get around and to give you opportunities to go out and experience the town. We are trying to stay at one of the colleges, but depending on their restrictions, if we don't stay at one of the colleges, we have some other housing options right in Oxford that we'll look to, that will also be comfortable, clean, and safe. Okay, and then here again, just additional photos of the experiences that you can anticipate when you come. Next slide. Good timing, as we just talked about COVID. Travel safety, everybody that does go with us, they do need to go to a travel clinic because we are in the malaria belt, also the meningococcal belt. It is a tropical environment, and so making sure that appropriate immunizations are up to date, that participants also have anti-malarial prophylaxis, as well as things for diarrhea and those sorts of things if they occur. Unfortunately, people tend to stay quite healthy. COVID-19 testing and vaccination is required. And I don't know if you're seeing, it's not only is it a requirement for the University of Utah, but traveling around the world, it's becoming more and more difficult to travel without up-to-date vaccinations. Noted we had an on-site clinic and medical staff who are fantastic. Dr. Sutherland, who's also one of our faculty members at Ensign Global College, is an excellent clinician as well as faculty member.
Can I interrupt on the vaccine thing, Steve?
Yep.
Because global travel is not a requirement for your degree. It's it's something that's discretionary. We've been asked by central administration to require vaccines for every traveler. So if you even have an exemption for a vaccine, I'm sorry, you won't be able to go. So vaccines are required.
And the country is getting more and more strict about that. And so it's very difficult if you do get in without a vaccine, and the quarantine requirements are extensive. And so it's just not tenable without the vaccine. I also apologize if that's something you're not able to do. We've got just an experienced team who's taken groups in and out of Ghana for years and years, not only our US-based team, but also our Ghanaian team. And you'll see that our collective team works very well together, and you'll just find that not only do we have great expertise, but also they're just wonderful hosts and fun to be with. Logistics and security, I think I've mentioned that, but I'll just say that's something that Ghana's a pretty safe country, but still, as Americans in an emerging country, it's important that we take logistics and security seriously, which we do. Travel insurance is required. Talked about the campus security, and for those that go, we'll have a training and orientation session to go through details on staying safe while you travel.
And the U of U provides the insurance, so. Yeah.
Thanks, Buzz.
Yep.
Next slide. Here are some testimonials in addition to what you heard from our students who are here today as panelists. What I wanted, while the others are reading this, can you give us just your biggest surprise about going to Ghana? What happened that was completely unexpected? And I don't know, we might have lost Satu, so maybe Will, could you? Oh, Kelsey, you're ready to go. Good. Okay.
Yeah, I can go. I was kind of honestly surprised about like the climate. I don't know. I oftentimes think of Ghana or Africa, you see this like big desert with giraffes, and it was very tropical, and which I thought it was so beautiful. Like I knew it was going to be beautiful. It was just a different type of beautiful than I thought it was going to be. So I loved that part of it. It was really cool to be on the coast. We spent our first night on the coast. And I think that was something I was surprised about, just how, I don't know, yeah, tropical and trees everywhere, kind of jungly. And I really liked the rainforest canopy walk. I'm not sure there was anything I was like super surprised about, but I think it was cool to learn about like the economy of the country and how it's growing. It was cool to see they were like building a train system into the country, like kind of like tracks, and that was, I don't know, cool to just see the development there. Yeah.
Thanks, Kelsey. Satu, I see you now. So we'll go maybe, and then Satu. I will note there was a question that came up on boosters. Are boosters required? And yes, if you're eligible for a booster, you need to have your booster. Will, what was the biggest surprise for you?
I would say just how welcoming everyone was. I mean, I wasn't expecting people to be standoffish and stuff, but everyone in Ghana was so sweet and friendly, and that's something I wasn't expecting. Everyone there really wants you to love Ghana. That was something I thought was really cool. I wasn't expecting that.
The world could use a lot more sweet and friendly these days. So I think that that's a really nice part. I'm glad you mentioned that. Satu.
The food surprised me. It was so much better than I expected. I was kind of worried since, even just here, I missed the food back home, but at Ghana, I felt right at home. The food was delicious.
That's great. I will say, just in full disclosure, there was one of our trips, we actually had to ask our chef to dial it back a little bit because too many of the participants were gaining weight and their clothes weren't fitting as well. So we said, it's okay to make the good food. We'll just have to not have as much out there, but we managed that. That was sort of one of those good problems to have. What is the difference between the Ensign internship and summer session? So the internship is longer. It's more of an intern experience where you'll actually be working in an intern capacity, and we sort of set that up in a little more tailored way. The actual the course itself is an actual, of course, credit-bearing course, which will have a structure to it, assignments and those sorts of things. Of course, the internships will have deliverables as well, but they'll be more tailored to the the nature of what the intern is actually doing. But with interns, we like to connect you with community organizations or activities, or find a project that you'll be working on while you're there. We do just for some of the social side of things, we do try to link the two when it makes sense. And we also link with some of our Ghanaian students and activities when we can as well. Okay. We're already way past this. We're now good friends with Satu, Kelsey, and Will, and I will say it's fun that they're on the call today, because I really miss you guys. You spend time together, and we see each other all the time for the time we're in Ghana. Then all of a sudden the trip is over and everybody departs, and so it's fun when we get these opportunities to get back together. And I think, Will, was it you that kind of talked about the lifelong friendships you make? There's something really interesting about these trips to Ghana. And I will tell you, we still have students who went together decades ago who are still great friends because of their time together in Ghana. So the last slide, I think, is just the deadline is, I think, just the general deadline, February 15th. Please, please, please reach out to us. I think our contact information and maybe the QR code. Yep. Let's see. Does the QR code give them our contact information, Elizabeth?
It takes them to our Instagram account, but I can put that in the chat if that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just reach out if you have questions, because we just love to have you come join us. And we were able to restart our programming in October of this year. We had a fantastic time. One of the questions was, how much did COVID impact the experience? We did change some things. We took a few more precautions, but I don't think they were a significant diminishing. They led to a significant diminishing of the experience. I would say instead of restricting things, we just did things a bit differently, and still had the opportunity to do some amazing, wonderful things. And that will be the same this summer. Elizabeth has put our business, health, and prosperity email address in the chat. If you have any questions, you can send an email there. Also, Jill Stevenson, who would have joined us today, but she is traveling, but she is our Director of Student Experiences, and she would love to chat with you about the experience as well. And really, no question is too detailed or unimportant. We really, if you have any questions whatsoever, please let us know. And then finally, Elizabeth, who's on with us today, who is the world's greatest host, is her email is there, and she can also give you information about the experience in Ghana. Elizabeth, you came with us for the first time in October. What we need to hear from you. What best, worst, and your biggest surprise?
Oh, wow, on the spot. I guess I would say the worst was just the jet lag, probably at the first, but we kept moving, so that went away pretty fast. So I would say that was probably the worst. The best, I'm going to echo what Will said and add something to it, but like the friendliness and the welcoming nature of Ghana. Like, I cannot wait to go back, and I can't wait to, I'm told Steve this multiple times, I want my husband to go and experience it. And then my other favorite part, Steve, is our security team. I felt like nothing, like they took such good care of us. I felt like I had my own private security Secret Service team. Like, they knew everything, and logistics were always taken care of. And I just can't speak highly enough of everybody we came in contact with, and how welcoming and kind they were to us. And just, I feel like I could contact any of them anytime now. And then I forgot what my most surprise.
Biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise. I'm gonna say biggest surprise was how good the food was too. Like, and I'm a foodie, so that was my favorite part.
Yeah, Elizabeth is not just a foodie. She's like the foodiest foodie I know. And so if you get an endorsement from Elizabeth on the food, you know, it's going to be really good. So thank you so much.
Hold on, I got to show you this guy right here. This is Chef Miguel.
Oh gosh.
Right? Yeah, and Chef Miguel made this. It was incredible, and he's just a gem of a man, and he did get me fatter when I was over there for sure.
Buzz, we have an email up from you, so I think we have the wrong image.
Oh, sorry, I'll put this over. How's that?
Oh.
There it is. There, and then Chef Miguel, right here. He's such a good dude, and he was preparing all kinds of good food for me. And I really, my impression was that the people are absolutely sweet as can be. The worst thing for me was the heat, though. It was so hot when I was there. But it's fantastic. Do you want to take just 2 seconds, Steve, and just touch on maybe next fall?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so you know, we have all sorts of experiences that we're developing. We with Eccles Global, we have a you know, a fall break and a spring break trip, our Eccles Global summer experience, and our internship program. We are working towards now more extended opportunities as well. Those are in the works, and we'll sort of wrestle with how quickly we can get those in place. But our opportunities are growing, and the experience that we can have there is growing likewise. And so if for some reason this summer doesn't work out, please stay in touch with us, because if this is at all interesting, we would absolutely love you to come spend a week, a month, a semester, or longer with us in Ghana. And so thanks to Buzz and his team, who just do a fantastic job of
Can you see that screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's so the application opens in a little under 2 weeks for next fall. So very cool class.
Yeah. I don't know if we can switch back to Elizabeth's slides. Will did want to show off his Ghanaian fashion.
Absolutely.
This is a little bit of a hassle, but I do think it's worth it to see. Will may not have known he was a fashion designer while before he went to Ghana, but I think he's come back really for us as a fashion icon. And so there you have, I think it's a bomber jacket, right?
Yes, yeah. I had them do it the bomber style with the Kente cloth. Come to Ghana, guys. Come get some Kente cloth. I also got a sweet Ashanti shirt while I was there too.
So
do you want to show our video? I can show our video we did on Instagram of it features all 3 of these lovely students, if you want to.
Do we have a few minutes to do that? A quick
video? Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll put up the QR code as soon as you're done, and then if people want to hang around and talk about summer, that's fine. Wonderful. But this is great. No, this we need to do this.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm pulling it off our Instagram.
Come on, Elizabeth, hurry up. No.
I'm hurrying.
While Elizabeth is pulling that up, I just say, you know, just if you come, expect nothing less than a spectacular experience. And that is our goal. Is we want a spectacular experience, and then we want to figure out how to make it even more spectacular. So we really do want you to, by getting this sort of an experience in Ghana, it does give you a much different perspective on the world and our place in it. And I hope if it is something of interest and you are able to join us, we would certainly love to have you. Okay, we'll end with the video.
Great.
Hopefully the sound works. So videos over Zoom, always fun.
I don't think it is. There we go.
that I put my fingers on top of the bean.
Yay, that was really good. I do probably need to point out that the sign up for the class this summer you can do on our Eccles Global website under summer sessions, and you apply here, and it's the first session May 16th through the 19th or the 9th, BUS 3800 honors 4474. So just apply there for the summer experience, and you'll be good. I will say that we will transfer you from Ghana to Europe if you want to stay for any of the other sessions also in Europe. So it really is no cost to you to come back and be a part of the summer experience. Also, I want to say one thing about that COVID booster. We are seeing COVID change a lot in different countries. The protocols change, and I have students in Rome just before they got there, they changed their booster policy from it has to be within 6 months rather than 9 months. So if you have a vaccination that's older than 9 months, you have to get boosted in most countries, and in the EU and Italy in particular, it has to be within 6 months. So yes, boosters are important. I think that's it for me. As far as the Ghana experience goes, you guys good? Does anybody else have any questions for our folks? All right. I'm going to put up well, one thing I want to show you though is the coronavirus thing. This is the UK. You're talking about Oxford. Look at how the Omicron virus is coming down like a rock. And next Thursday, the UK is getting rid of the mask mandates and any quarantine. So basically free to roam without masks on, and they feel like everything is basically on the mend. And last 90 days, kind of there. So I would say you're in good shape for Oxford this summer. Does that make sense, Steve? Does that sound all right?
Yep. No, I think that's what we're going to see. That's the nature of this Omicron strain. Is it ramps up quickly and it drops quickly. And I was in the UK. Actually, it was kind of going up, and it was easy to get around even then. And I think we'll have a really nice experience.
See, Ghana doesn't have hardly anything, right?
So far, so good. Knock on wood, cross our fingers, all those good things.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you. At this point, we'd love to put up the QR code if one of our ambassadors would like to do that. And then those of you that need the code and are free to go, or you can stay and we can talk about our summer program or any other questions you might have about Eccles Global experiences. There you go. Steve and team, thank you. And students, thank you. That was really above and beyond. And obviously you had some great experiences in Ghana, and we're really happy to share those. And it was wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now so we can keep that Ghana related.